everyone, it's already August and I'm wearing my Volia blouse, which finally has 2 matching sleeves, and I'm here to share with you what I've been working on during these last few weeks. I hope you are having a wonderful summer, a wonderful vacation if you're in the summer season now, or if you're in the winter season, you're so lucky you have some chilly days, and I guarantee that most of the Europeans are now envious to what you have, because we again are going through another heat wave. And yeah, it is a proper summer, which we are not so used here in Netherlands, but it's been very, very warm and very little rain, so I guess that's not really good for agriculture. And considering the whole situation with the harvests this year in the world and food crisis, it is not good for anyone. Then there are no news from Ukraine, which is both good and bad. Good in terms that my family is okay, everyone is alive and safe. Unfortunately, I can't say that for many other Ukrainian families whose homes are being destroyed and whose children and husbands are dying every day. It is still going on. You don't see it on the news. The war is there. Every day people die on both sides. And what you see more in the news, in the social media, is that people start blaming Ukraine in raising prices, in inflation, in the food crisis, and everything that's wrong in the world. Apparently, Ukraine is the one to blame. And that shift from blaming the aggressor to blaming the victim is just unacceptable. Russia invaded Ukraine without a reason, a peaceful neighboring country. We are not responsible for what is going on. We are defending our land, our language, our country. What can we do? What else can we do? There is no option of giving up. In the last few weeks, I was focusing more and more on the offline activities. I've been working for a local non-governmental organization that supports refugees that are here in Haarlem, and I've joined the core team of the organization, and we are trying to help people who already are here and prepare more to potential waves of immigration when we are coming closer to winter, because in many towns and big cities the heating systems have been destroyed, and there is a huge problem with the cold winter. The apartments won't be heated, and people will be just left to freeze in their homes, and we assume that that will cause another wave of refugees coming to Europe to at least spend the winter here. And yeah, I feel like that work is very important now, and even though I would really love sharing with you all the information and educating you through my social media, I can see that algorithms and Instagram doesn't really want posts about war anymore. That influences my business, and even if I keep sharing it, you won't be seeing the posts that I do. So I'm switching a little bit to the offline world and doing something that I can actually see the results and have the fruits of my labor, so to say. It's a difficult decision and a difficult balance between being online and offline, and working with people has been always difficult for me. So it's something that I'm balancing a little bit and seeing where it will take me. But yeah, Volia blouse, the one that I'm wearing now, is already out, and I decided that I will not do the usual introductory discount and instead donate the 15% of all the sales in August to an organization in Dnipro, which is a big town in the central east of Ukraine, where a lot of wounded people from east and south are coming to get treatment, and the organization is helping hospitals to get the necessary equipment. And the NGO that I'm working here in Haarlem, they already support this organization for months, and I know personally the people who work there, and I'm really sure that the money will go to the right place, and that we will literally help save lives right there in the hospitals. On the more personal front, that is a big deal for me. I joined the gym, which is it felt surreal, sort of, because I always had this picture in my mind that gym is like this dirty, smelly place where all these men go to grow their muscles and like show off and stuff like that. So that was all a fiction of my mind, and that always kept me like, no, that's not for me. I'm not even considering. Because of my thyroid, I'm not very good in active sports. I get tired really fast. I practiced yoga for, I don't know, now already more than 15 years, and that was my choice of sport. But I've been also getting some back pain, and I noticed that it was coming from yoga exercises, and I decided to stop for a while with that one. So finally I joined the gym, and it felt really nice. The first week I went there like almost every day. I don't do a lot of complicated stuff. I'm just learning my way around and walking a little bit of jogging, just a little bit of exercises, everything to keep me moving instead of just sitting focusing on my phone and scrolling the news like you would do. Sometimes you think, oh well, I'll just check something, check there, and then it's like 1 hour, and instead of that, I just, when I have this feeling, I just put my phone and I go for that same hour to the gym and get my blood running, and that feels much better. So for those days with frustrations and I don't know, anxiety, I just go to the gym. I can highly recommend that. I was also asking on Instagram about your recommendations for the sportswear brands, and thank you all. It was super nice to just see so many new names that I didn't know. And you know what I did? I actually went a very sustainable way. I registered on an app called Vinted, and I bought training shoes, 2 or 3 t-shirts, and what else did I buy? Like a zip jacket, like everything for sports in less than 50 euros. I bought training shoes for 8 euros, almost new. Like, yeah, to put it into perspective, if I bought it new, it would be like 500 probably, right? So, and I'm super happy with the quality. The pieces that I got are almost new, like probably worn a few times, or even if they were worn, they're in really good condition. And I can highly recommend that for someone who doesn't want to invest a fortune into expensive clothes. And what I have to say, I got expensive clothes, Nike and like all the Asics, all the brands, but they were already used, which meant they costed less. So I think it's a good trick for someone who thinks about saving and sustainability and giving a second life to clothes. Okay, finally let's move to the knitting. I got sick about 3 weeks ago and it knocked me off for a week or so. And after that I felt so low, nothing was working. I showed you last time I was working on the Javelin shawl and it just didn't feel right. I used a different yarn and that also didn't quite work well. Yeah, it was a whole bunch of things that I didn't have inspiration for. So I took a little break, like 2 or 3 days. I didn't do anything. And then last week, I think, it all came back and I managed to finish 2 new samples and I'm really excited to show you them. So the first one is a pullover that I showed you last time, the yoke. I finished this and I've been playing yarn chicken because I've been running low on the main color yarn on the sleeves, and well, let me show you what it looks like now. So it's a nice fitted yoke. I also had it shorter than I would probably want, or actually it's quite a good length, and it has this nice lacy trim on the hem and the same one here on the neck. And yeah, since I ran low on the main color yarn, my sleeves are quite short, but well, I think I could live with that anyway. I'm rolling them up all the time, so yeah, I made a cuff in a contrasting color, and that's how it should work. Yeah, you see, it's just borderline, just to the bone. Yeah, I don't mind them really being so short. I have a name for this one, and I called it Silin, and that is Gaelic for a cherry. And first, of course, it's the color, and second is these little berries that I hear on the pattern, and yeah, and I think I was craving a cherry pie all the time that I've been working on it. It's just such a rich color, and yeah, very exciting. So this one is I wrote it down last week and it's already with my tag editor, so I got. So as soon as she's done editing, I will be calling for testers, and yeah, I hope this will be a nice little project for you if you want to join. So yeah, this was pretty simple. Last time I think I caught myself into this trap when last time I said that I don't want it to be another round yoke pullover, and that really stuck with me, and I was like, fuck, what am I doing? This is another round yoke pullover. And but yeah, I think these little lacy pieces, they add a little bit of interest to otherwise, yes, another round yoke pullover. It doesn't make you less beautiful, it doesn't make it less beautiful. I still think that it's really nice, and it deserves a life and love, and yeah, it's interesting how things. So what I'm trying to say is probably never say things that will have you in this kind of trap that you can't allow yourself to be creative and do something you know, no matter what it is. Because sometimes we say like, oh, I will never do that, and then you do it and you feel bad. Just don't say it. Yeah, this feels really nice. I'm really happy with the yarn and with the fit. It feels really wearable. Like some designs are more like, oh, this is for special occasion, and this is like for every day. The yarn really works well in this for the color work. It's perfect yarn for the color work. Did I tell you what it is? It is a yarnadelic from John Urban Textile, and it is a sport weight. And maybe I can tell you, but I'm not sure if I can. I probably shouldn't, but in fall they will be launching a worsted weight. This yarn in a worsted weight, and that would be lovely. I'm sure. It's quite bouncy, and yeah, I really like it. It's my kind of yarn. That's why I work with it so much. Yeah. So finally, now I can show you the Javelin shawl. And with the shawl, I told you already probably a million times, I am very new to shawls. I don't own a single one. And I started designing it. It felt like jumping from the deep end, because I didn't start with something very simple shape, or yeah, I started with a texture, with different patterns that had different gauge, and I wanted to do like a crescent shape shawl, and that was causing so much frustration when, yeah, you had to get everything right for it not to create these strange waves or just shrink in some pieces. Yeah, it was very difficult for someone who never done that to figure out the shaping. But I have to say, I think I nailed it. And it took forever. I probably ripped out like 3 finished shawls. And it was so frustrating. I at some point I was like, no, I'm gonna rip it off and just give up on all the shawl craziness. But I think it is really nice. I was so happy when I finished it, and when I blocked it, I was like, you know, it was just bliss. And let me show you. So it is the pattern that I used for my Javelin pullover, a very textured kind of ribbing. And there are 2 garter stitch sections in the beginning and on the edge, and that means that if you think that it's too small for you, you can just add more garter edge, and it will become longer and deeper. So just kind of throw it like this. You see, it's quite big. I think it's a perfect size for just wearing like this, and then there is enough length and it's not too bulky to wear it as a scarf. Yeah, and all these different sections of the ribbing, they do create a lot of interesting texture, and yeah, I really love it. It's been a long time in the making, and that I think that also makes it so special, because yeah, look at it. I am currently writing down the pattern. It will be row by row written down pattern. I'm thinking if I should do the chart for this, like the beginning of the row for you to see how the transitions are going between sections. But I made really good row by row notes when I knitted, and I think that should be also quite easy to follow. Because I used as a reference the book The 52 Weeks of Shawls by Line. And I found as a newbie, I found it a little bit complicated to navigate patterns when it's just like very concise, very short instructions are given. And I think if you're a beginner to knitting shawls, or if you like someone to hold your hand and walk you through all the rows, that will be a really good pattern for you. Because yeah, I know where I know who you are, I know how you feel, and yeah, so I'm working on that one now, and hopefully in a few days it will also go to the tech editor, and we will have a test knit for this beauty. I made it in Highland DK from Life in the Long Grass. They say it's DK, but it's more like worsted weight, and even though it's not a typical shawl yarn, it holds the texture very nice. It has a very nice stitch definition, and it blocked out really nicely. It has quite some drape, and it's not too heavy. I think it's working really nice in this one. It should be wearing really well over time. So if I did it again, I would probably take something more shawl friendly, like something more silkier, but there should be a good limit between stiff definition, a good balance there between stitch definition and the silkiness, because if the yarn is too silky and soft, it will just it will be very flat. And even though it could be a nice look with all the this kind of ribbing, I think it looks nicer when the stitches are more defined, and you already can see that, like when you think about choosing yarn, you can already go to the Javelin pullover and see the projects on Ravelry, and you will see how different yarns behave in this kind of pattern. So that will give you a better idea what kind of yarn you can choose for the shawl if you like to make one. I'm not a shawl person, and what I do, I will wear it as a scarf. It's a perfect nice robe for winter, and there's enough length to wrap it once, like generously once. Or if you want to tie it, it's very wearable in terms of how to wear it. And of course you can wear it as a shawl on your back, or you can do like this nice kind of thing through the back. Well, there is millions of ways to wear it, and I'm really happy with the shape and with the length. I think I nailed that here. So yeah, you got it. Yeah? I'm very happy with myself here, and I hope you really enjoyed it, because Javelin pullover was a big success, and I'm hoping that the matching shawl will be too, because there is nothing complicated here. The pattern is super easy, and I think it's even easier when you work rows, not the rounds. But yeah, it's very easy. There is nothing complicated in this sort of ribbing, and I think it will be a nice project for everyone, for more advanced knitters and the beginners too. I picked up my embroidered blouse again, and I started working on the neck. So currently I'm embroidering the the edging that will be sewn to the neck. And I'm also thinking to do like a front opening, and for that I have to practice different ways of fixing the stitches, well, the threads where you do the cut. So there are different techniques there, and I'm still exploring what exactly I'm gonna do. Well, if nothing works nicely, I will just keep it without the cut and do just the embroidered edging all around the neck. And yeah, I think that will be the last step, and then I will need to do the hem and finish up everything nicely. So I got back to that, and I also had a week when I did the pillows, the big one behind me. I remember I showed you the big pillowcase. It was like 1 by 1 or 120. No, yeah, it was 1 by 1 or something like that. It was a huge pillow that was usually placed on display in my grandma's house, and last time I was in Ukraine, I brought it back. She gifted it to me, even though I'm not sure if she realized who I was because of her dementia. I actually opened it up because this section is made on a separate piece of cloth, and the other part of pillowcase were just sewn to it. So I cut this one out. I mean, I didn't destroy it. I just took this piece out, and I made a pillow. And in the same manner as the small one, this one was made by my great grandmother, and the pillow actually my mother made the pillow, but I had to change the backing because it was really old and it was really yellow. So I opened it up and I changed the backing to some linen, white linen, and yeah, now I have a fresh pillow, this one. And this one I did the same way. I just put some stuffing inside and sewn it in. There is nothing, no zippers, nothing, so it's just like stationary pillow that is decorative. So I'm not using it for anything. It just lies there, so I would rarely need to wash it or anything. So, but it's there and I can see it, and it's really, yeah, it's very special to have it there. And I'm enjoying the company of those pillows and sort of the company of my ancestors around me. Yeah. I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you very much for joining, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.